I dream of kickball. Not in the past tense. I will dream of kickball in the future tense. That's what I dream about if I'm lucky enough to have a pleasant dream. I dream about kickball. And a lot of people have that same thing, man. After that first week, the next Sunday, they'll tell me, man, I dreamed about kickball all week long, man. I was like, I know, yeah, you do.
It could have been wiffle ball. Pooh's original idea was wiffle ball league. I don't think kickball itself, right, is exactly the glue. I think it's the way that Pooh's made the league. As long as it's a child's game. I mean, any child's game that someone remembers playing as a child, I think would have sufficed. Softball wouldn't have been the same. Flag football, I don't even think would have been the same. I think it really had to be a child's game of some sort that would keep people in the spirit of being a kid and being silly like a kid. So I think that and the way that Pooh has controlled the atmosphere and made it one where it's about sharing and allowed people to be as festive as they want to be and encouraged it has made it to be such.
Well, I think the movement that's going around the country and is obviously thriving in Little Rock is people are, my age, 30-ish. We are now got free time on our hands. Maybe we have a little extra money. Maybe we're trying to reconnect with our childhood. We are not traditional. We're not a traditional generation. We don't play the sports our parents played. Bowling is not for us. Softball is not for us. That's what your father plays. Your father probably still plays softball. And I think there's something about breaking away from that past generation and reconnecting to the silliness of something you did as a child.
Kickball is a game we played every week in PE. When I was in elementary school. It was my favorite game that we played in PE. And so I have a lot of very fond memories of playing kickball. It's a game that I always enjoyed. I grew up collecting baseball cards. I grew up going to baseball games. I grew up playing baseball very, very badly and spending almost my entire time on the bench. And kickball allowed me to play baseball kind of, but actually to play.
Pretty much anybody could play it, and you could include everyone, and it wasn't so much all that competitive.
It's a children's game. It's a children's playground game. I think that it's part of a lot of people's youth. You don't need special equipment, really. You just need some people and a kickball and the intent to have a good time. But I think it goes further than that. I think it goes back to innocence and childhood. I think that everybody remembers maybe playing kickball as a young elementary school student. And I think that they remember a time where fun and play meant just that. It was just play. It was just a good time. So all of these stresses, all of these responsibilities, and life's difficulties, challenges, traumas, all of those things just kind of wash away and revert back to a simpler time, which is kind of what happens on Sundays.
I guess it started because a lot of people didn't have anything better to do on a Sunday.
It originated with me and my buddy Eric Davis and Brock Mays. We were all bartending together in Little Rock at Zack's place. And we kind of jokingly got talking about doing something, starting a kickball league or a wiffle ball league. Wiffle ball was what Brock wanted to start. He wanted wiffle ball, and I wanted to do kickball. We bickered back and forth about it.
He formed the Little Rock Kickball Association, kind of in memory of a couple of friends of his who had passed away.
Eric Davis died in an accident. Actually in a park not too far from where we play. He tripped over a park bench late one night after he'd been drinking, and he fell on a tree stub and lacerated his liver, and he bled to death. A few short weeks after that, in October, Brock committed suicide, kind of unexplainably, just out of the blue. You know, I was, of course, realizing that the two guys I started the year out with, you know, that previous year had not survived the year, and I was the only one. I got to thinking back about Eric and Brock and thinking about the kickball league, and I decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to start a kickball league.
I used to be an adult education film star, and this is what I had to wear. But the ladies love it. They really turns them on when it comes off while you're in the middle of a take.
Well, how we got started in kickball is Jason brought it up one night at the bar.
Somehow or another, I come across some photographs of a kickball league from one of the previous years, and it just looked like it was a lot of fun. So that, you know, piqued my curiosity, and just I just started investigating it more and more, and decided that I wanted to start a team.
They started talking about names, which had to do something with his big fancy cat.
We teased Jason about his cat.
And apparently he gets it groomed.
So that's kind of where part of the team name came from, Catsicles, and it had something to do with me not grooming my cat and licking my cat, and I mean, you can use your own imagination.
Catsicle is like a popsicle made of cats.
And then they wanted to make sure to include something else to emphasize the Catsicle, so Atomic came in there, and sure enough, you know, there's not another team out there called Atomic Catsicles.
That's a good name. I like the name a lot.
Yeah, it is a good name.
They each have on the back of their jersey, they name themselves after, you know, a cat or some kind of character associated with a cat.
Well, the cat names come together whenever Laura and I were sitting at the bar. We decided, we were trying to design the shirts, and we said, hey, look, we need to make a nickname up for everybody. So, you know, we wanted to base everything on the cat, you know, the Atomic Catsicle, whatever it is.
Do not put any higher.
And we decided that everybody would have a name, a nickname that ended with Kitty. You know, you have Bad Kitty or Shalitty Kitty.
Well, they all have kitty names.
They all have kitty names, yeah. They all have
There's
kitty names.
Bad Kitty, Jesus Kitty.
Kick it to Jesus, he can't catch.
Jesus Kitty. When we met him last year, he had long, wavy hair about down the hair. He's got a little goatee. Not just a regular goat. He's got a goatee. He's got these big blue eyes, and he just looks like the Jesus pictures, like if it was painted on black velvet. And so we always called him Jesus. We didn't know his name was Michael for 6 months.
There's no explanation unless you go to their website to kind of figure out what they mean. Like, for example, there's a team member that says Ghetto Kitty. I don't really get it. I don't really know what it is until I find out more. It's kind of like it reveals itself later.
Now, do you think any of the fault for this loss can be contributed to you and your management of this team?
I'm drunk, so yeah, I think that's got a lot to do with it.
My name's Ghetto Kitty, just because I live in a trailer park that I have, and then I also have a car lot in the ghetto. So, I mean, that's where the Ghetto Kitty came from, the 40 ounce. My son, he's little ghetto, he's 20 ounce.
Ghetto Kitty,
Ghetto
$2
Kitty,
Kitty,
$2
Phone Bone
Kitty.
Kitty, Bang Bang Kitty.
Jason's Bang Bang Kitty because he shoots guns.
Cool. I shoot competition in shotguns, and that's where that came from. So they're all unique to the individual player, and they all have their own little story.
Isn't
Queen Kitty.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
That's a lot of their names.
That's a lot of kitties.
We are, right now, by my reckoning, we're the largest single city independent league. There are a couple of little conglomerate independent leagues that have several cities that outnumber us, but we're the largest single city independent league in the nation. We're not by far the largest league. WACA, the World Adult Kickball Association, is the largest league. I think they boast, if you go to their website, 20,000 players, you know, hundreds of different teams all over the country, 20 different states or something like that.
There is, of course, the competitive league, and I start with them because I guess that's one end of the continuum. And boy, it's an extreme. There's the competitive league, there's the intermediate league, and there's the laid-back league. There's so many teams now. And I think that breaking it up in kind of these leagues is a really great idea.
When it started, The competitive league was for the people who were uber competitive. I mean, it was for people who went out there to win and nothing else.
Right. Practice, strategize.
Practice, strategy, bunt every kick.
Bunt, kick.
Yeah, you
bunt,
know,
bunt, kick.
just
That's
all that sort of thing.
And in a competitive league, that's some hardcore.
He's now he's telling me that I'm making calls because I don't, I'm trying to get y'all back for something.
We know that ain't right.
Well, I know it's not right, but it's not, I don't need to hear it.
I would put any one of our competitive league teams up against any other team in the country, kickball-wise, because our teams have gotten it down to a science. There are teams that go out and look for left-handed catchers so that they can make that throw to first base without having to change hands.
And what's so funny is that the competitive league is almost as funny as, say, the laid-back league, just because they are serious about it.
But I cannot, from that distance, call a judgment call on that.
Well, y'all, because he called him out too. Well, y'all,
yeah, we'll work on it, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
And it's kickball, of all things.
In the middle, we have the intermediate league, and the intermediate league is that middle ground between laid-back and competitive league. And so it's kind of that happy middle ground, and that's where a lot of people find their home. The intermediate league is twice the size of the laid-back league, and it's larger than the competitive league.
Then there's the laid-back league, which I'm happy. I'm very happy that I'm a member of the laid-back league. By virtue of calling it the laid-back league, it's very laid-back. There seems to be, it's very clearly defined as a very laid-back league in which the number of runs you score has really nothing to do with your progression to the playoffs. It's spirit-based.
I think Pooh's idea about what the whole league was supposed to be is what the laid-back league is, minus all the costumes. I don't think he ever predicted that.
He doesn't
and
mind
that level of creativity. No, he doesn't mind it, but I think he thought it would be kind of...
No, he does. And he said that when we started.
Who came out, who got matching shirts, thought it was cool.
This is what it was supposed to be.
Came out, kicked the ball around, laughed,
yeah,
and had fun with their friends, and that was about it.
It was us going out there having a good time, people in costumes, and for some reason I always envisioned pageantry with this, because it didn't seem like you could play kickball without a certain amount of pageantry.
The way I describe it is the laid-backers have been drinking all week leading up to their game. The intermediate league will drink during the day leading up to their game, and then the competitive league waits until at least game time or after the game to start drinking. So that depends on how serious you are about it.
We wanted to make it where there was like 19, 20, absolutely no more than 21 people, because we want enough to where we have enough people to show up for the games, but we didn't want so many where people couldn't play. This is why we done, like, everybody had to have a kitty name, right? Because like the back of the shirt will have your number on it, and it'll have kitty at the bottom. So whatever your nickname is, kitty, okay? All right, so y'all like the cat mean or not mean?
Mean. Mean.
Mean?
Like that cat on this one.
Mean and stupid looking.
We just got to find out about that date and what all is involved. That's like I was saying. I want to talk to that Larry guy, or somebody needs to, because we just don't know enough about it yet.
At any time during the game, you may decide to take your #1 kicker out and replace him with someone from the sub list. Once a sub goes in, they're in until you take them out. Once they're out, they're out. This is going to be close to it, but don't hold this to the fire just yet, because it may not be exact. I want to make sure I get feedback from all the laid-backers. So make sure on that you read it, you're aware of it, but don't hold that to a tattoo gun yet. Your player rosters, 5-3 lists. Final date for all roster changes is Friday, 5 p.m. before the fourth Sunday. So basically after 3 Sundays, that's it. That date is March 23rd. Make sure you're aware of it.
Okay, this is the bottom of the inning. Y'all are ahead. Y'all shouldn't be kicking, but y'all go ahead and have fun.
Okay. We always have fun, Dad.
Hey, for the rest of the inning.
We always have fun.
Okay.
You need a beer?
Opening day this year was very exciting for me. I was really looking forward to it. I think our whole team was.
I'm usually the first one at the field. I make sure all the trash bags and trash cans and bathrooms are unlocked. I make sure the fields are all ready to go. I go through and post schedules and stuff at all the dugouts. I coordinate, people, when they start showing up. It's the first day they don't know where field 1 is, field 6 is. And so I'm usually the first one there. I usually try to get out there on not opening day, but every day I try to get out there about 9:30. And that gives me about 2 hours or so before people start showing up, so I can get things kind of rocking and rolling. And it's that really bizarre quiet before the storm, especially on a beautiful day when when it's already sunny and the sky is already blue. You can already tell the energy, the residual energy that's in those fields. It's going to be a great day, man. It's going to be fantastic when 1,000 people get here. And 1,000 people is not an exaggeration.
I haven't seen much of Larry today. He's been running around a little crazy. We've had to play a lot of games in the outfield, so that's added a little bit of stress to him, but he's just kind of running around making sure everybody's having a good time, but also everything's going smoothly.
If you were running the first base and you fell down 20 feet shy of it, right in the middle.
Well, I mean, that's obvious you're out. 20 feet from the base. That's up to she was right there on the base.
Which is hard to do. It's a lot of work.
Well, it's exactly what I envisioned. It's exactly what I wanted. But now I'm reminded of being careful what you wish for. Because now, it's we have so many people out here having a good time, so many people out here. Parking's becoming an issue. Kids are running around everywhere, dogs are running around everywhere, games are running behind, and it's just a matter of all these things. If they get in the right pot and the right mixture, it could blow up in my face, and it could, potentially cause a lot of grief. But for the most part, it's a matter of walking the tightrope with the league and all the different players and teams, and everyone knows their spot, knows what to do. So I love the festivities. I love the weather. I love when it's nice like this. I love seeing people cooking out and sharing food, and I love the whole loaves and fishes mentality that goes on, that stone soup type mentality that goes on when people bring food and share and hook out.
Hot dogs? You sure? My mom made banana nut bread. Come have some. She said make sure those girls get the banana nut bread or she's gonna cry. Do you want to make my mommy cry? Come get some banana nut bread then.
I love this place. This place is great. You can't beat it. It's like a huge tailgate party. You can't go wrong out here. It's great.
I was very excited about this season, but I had no idea what we were in for this season with the Atomic Catsicles. When they came on the scene, that was a big shock.
We're about ready. Get this thing going. I'm excited, real excited. Nervous.
Hey, you can't prance and drink at the same time.
Oh, I can, and I will.
Show me how it's done.
Catsicles, mount up, baby!
Hey, let's see your penis pump. We actually bought it.
Oh yeah, my penis pump.
Yes.
We realized that they had raised the bar, and as far as the level of hilarity, the level of polish, I suppose, on the logos, the team. They had a website, they had video, they had a number of very telegenic personalities that looked good on film and on the web. And they seemed like they had a great mix of characters, and they were a real close group.
The Atomic Catsicles. My first introduction to them is we have a field that we play on, out of season it's on Sunday, and on in season it's on Wednesday night. First time it was $2. I walk up, I have a 6-pack of beer and a sack that I just bought at the store. And first thing she ever said was, hey dude, you can put your beer in our cooler.
Oh my gosh, the Atomic Catsicles, when they came on board, of course I was kind of a newbie still too, 2 seasons in. And next thing you know, here's this Atomic Catsicle team. And gosh, they just blew up the laid-back league.
Well, the Atomic Catsicles, our team came into the league, and nobody knew us, and we didn't know anyone else that was affiliated with the Little Rock Kickball Association. We started back months ago putting all these things together. We made flags, and we decided that we were going to do these weekly video taunts that we would post to the forum, and come up with these cool logo designs for our t-shirts.
What strikes me most about the Atomic Catsicles is just their presence. I mean, the fact that they are present, and the fact that they're there and participating in there the entire time. That's the thing that's really impressed me most. Videos are cool too, but when you tell me the Atomic Catsicles, the videos got them noticed. The fact that they were there enjoying themselves and watching all the games really earned them some respect, at least from me.
The Kickcast is this It's a simulcast on KABF 88.3 FM, and it's Mondays between 1 and 3 p.m.
This is the grand poobah of all things kickball, and I'm coming to you live high atop the kickball tower at 100,000 watts of kickball power at KABF. Well, I think what Beth hit on originally was, the league was, when I did start the league back in spring of 2004, what I actually envisioned was a laid-back league.
But nobody really hates the laid-back league. I mean, I think it's just more of a disparity between, because in the competitive league, there is a cut and dry finish to the game.
There are people who lose sight or can't identify why the league was started. The league was started to have a good time.
The Kickball Forum it's a website that has lrkickball.com, and it's where the Little Rock Kickball Association has some static information, like where the fields are located, the maps, and the play schedules, and the rosters, and things like that, and the rules. But you can also click on the forums. But it's like a bulletin board. It's what it is. It's an electronic bulletin board where all the members of the Kickball League and their friends alike, or it could be anybody, can post a message or a title.
I tried to stay pretty up to date. Some of the posts, especially the ones that the Caticles take over, I just have to give up after about 60 or 70 different one-line posts. But I try to keep track of, watch all the videos. I always try to watch all the videos. I like those a lot.
The team, the Atomic Catsicles, started doing these weekly taunt videos, kind of like posted on the littlerockkickball.com forums. It's a short video taunt to the other team.
Hi, I'm Antoine Voyeur.
And I'm Blaine Bang Bang.
And we're Men on Kickballs.
We want to go over some video highlights of this past kickball season.
In this first clip, we want to take a look at some naughty kickball girls.
Let's take a look, shall we? Oh, you look at that. And here comes another one.
You're not supposed to wear white after April.
Something like that, whatever.
Oh!
Are you okay, Antoine?
Yes, honey, I'm okay. Now
Oh,
let's get
thank
back
goodness.
to the naughty girls of kickball.
Hated it. Almost as much as anything else, that was probably our biggest trademark. I think. And it was certainly the most anticipated thing that we did was the videos. And it went so far as, I think after the second or third one, we started doing the outtakes at the end. Yeah. Well, that ended up being what everybody wanted to watch was the outtakes, because that was the funniest part of the video.
Did that operation not take?
I'll let him referee me in the bedroom.
I'm telling you what, he makes me want to double dribble.
I mean, I don't know any other organization that has this much media coverage, this much involvement, and is hitting on every outlet you can think of. The internet, the traditional radio, you can pick up podcasts, you can call in with the telephone, it's on the television stations, I mean, it's everywhere.
Larry.
Larry's awesome.
He's a good guy.
I think Larry Betz is just super
Yeah.
awesome. You know, he was working on a play. I always say when I introduce him, I'm like, Pooh, he runs a kickball league and he's a playwright. And he told me to quit saying that now because I guess, that's not his main focus.
Right.
But, I think he's just an inspirational person. And if anyone else ran this league, it would have been really easy to walk away after that first season.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have.
Or any season, actually.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of time. And
Yeah, it does.
especially if you're going to get super involved on either way, whether it's the boards and the competitive or the laid-back league. But Pooh really makes it worthwhile. I mean, Larry, I see him on campus. I don't even call him Larry. I yell across campus, Pooh, I meant to ask you about da-da-da-da-da.
Today I got done teaching at 8:50 in the morning, and I went from meeting to meeting to meeting, all kickball all day long today. Everyone from dropping off team packets, dropping off several team packets to talking to our league sponsor, Golden Eagle, and visiting with them and getting some touching base and ordering banners, to ordering T-shirts, to ordering stickers, to, you know, it just amazes me that it's a full-time job. Well, it's not a job, you know, I love it. You know, I love doing it. I can spend the whole day doing this, going from meeting to meeting, and I'm not a meeting person. I'm not a button-up kind of guy that likes this kind of corporate stuff. But you get me in front of a table with 6 or 8 people around it, I can talk kickball.
When I think of Larry Betz, the first thing that comes to my mind is self-sacrificing, giving, encouraging, positive, role model, thoughtful, energized. I mean, he is just a great guy all around.
I don't know where his eyebrow ring went, but I kind of wish he'd wear that some more. Larry is the most generous, there's not enough adjectives to describe Larry Betz. I mean, he dedicates so much of his time to something that just does nothing for him, you know, other than for everybody else to have fun. He's a totally selfless man, one of the greatest people I've ever met.
I can't imagine how this guy squeezes enough hours out of the day to have a family, to have a business, and then give up, literally, create and be one of the founders of this Little Rock Kickball League, and then kind of nurture this child over season after season, and now be bringing joy, I mean really bring joy to thousands of people at different levels. To have so much and to be one guy, it is just mind-blowing.
It's almost hard to find the words to describe his dedication and devotion to the Kickball Association, because this guy's not doing this for a paycheck. He's doing it for the best interest of all the people involved. He's the kind of person that I think enjoys the satisfaction of seeing other people happy.
Well, there was that one time the prostitutes came out to the field. They
Dude,
had to be,
I didn't realize that would be a
apologize
problem.
about that.
Didn't, you know, I made a phone call or two. I didn't realize it was going to get out of hand, but
I almost got caught my wallet out.
If something were to go sideways, if something were to go wrong, horribly wrong, whether it's the fault of a kickball player or not, it doesn't make any difference. You know, one wrong move could affect the entire league and shut the whole thing down.
you got, what, 2,000 people? And so, and on one day, all almost in the same area, drinking, yeah, you're going to have some problems, you know.
So much of what happens on the field is a reflection of what happens out here. They, you know, both environments feed off each other. When things are relaxed out here, things get relaxed out there, and vice versa, back and forth.
There've been very, very, very few isolated incidents. We have a zero tolerance policy against anything that's deemed offensive or hurtful or negative or over-the-top negative.
Zero tolerance policy. That was something. That was something that actually arose in the playoffs.
A very specific night.
Yeah, 2 seasons ago. Yeah, I mean there is a ground zero for the zero tolerance policy. There's one game where you can say that's where it began.
Yeah.
Things got out of hand, and he wrote up this policy and sent it out for the next week of playoffs saying, look, okay, everybody has to sign this. It essentially says you're going to be good little boys and girls or you don't get to play.
Anytime you get alcohol and a lot of people in a big party, and you know, there's going to be little pockets of issues take place. And you know, since our first season, there's no hard liquor allowed. And everybody had these things called Jello shots, you know, and people would just throw them over the fence. I mean, there would be hundreds of them. My chest full of these things. It's beautiful. And
It was
yeah,
beautiful.
Gorgeous. It was pretty awesome.
Lovely.
But what you have now is people are throwing stuff over the fence, and a kid picks up a little thing of Jello. So
He's like, Jello.
yeah, not cool.
This past Sunday, there were some isolated, I think they're isolated incidents at Interstate Park.
Incident that we had happen on Sunday, we had allegations of a sexual assault that happened approximately 8:30 in the women's room at Field 4. Obviously a serious situation. Obviously potentially league ending. The alleged victim involved was a member of one of our teams. The perpetrator, no idea.
I think that may have been probably the first season where things, where you could see things could very easily get out of hand really, really quickly. And Larry did a really good job at pulling the reins in and saying, whoa.
If you see a group of them, of the outsiders, what do? Well, first off, communicate with somebody. You know, communicate with your league representatives. Communicate with me. You know, eyeball them real close. Make them feel uncomfortable. Yeah. You know, why are we being watched? And also take time to introduce yourself. I trust your vibe. If you walk up and introduce yourself, you think these are good people, I think we can get them involved. I bet they would play next season. I bet we'll get a team for them. Do it. If they're not receptive, come get me. I'll get them out of there.
We're constantly being watched, and we're constantly being judged, and sometimes I feel we need to walk a finer line, and we need to make sure that our bed is always made, because there are so many people who will just instantly jump on us the instant we slip up, and I hate that. I think that's a bunch of bullshit.
I don't think there's another group in the city of Little Rock that can say in a short period of time has accomplished as much philanthropically, charitably, community service-wise as we have, and I'm proud of that.
I've heard him say many a times that the Kickball League is just a charity organization that happens to play kickball on Sundays.
Yeah. I mean, from the beginning, he knew this was going to be a social networking apparatus, and he wanted to be a charitable organization.
A service-oriented organization.
I think we raised about $14,000 to $15,000 worth of stuff this past spring just for the Humane Society for cats and dogs.
They do the Miss LRKA, which all the girls run and raise money, and that goes to Hearts and Hooves, and so does the tournament proceeds, the spring tournament.
Just cannot say enough about how everything is dedicated to something else here. It's a selfless organization, just as Larry is a selfless man, and it seems like everything we do is for something else, not ourselves.
And he's real big into, being a public service organization. I mean, that's what he wants us to be known for as much as anything. And I think it makes a difference in the public's eye. You know, we're not just a bunch of, if you were to come up on a Sunday afternoon not knowing anything about the LRKA, you could quite possibly get a bad impression, first impression. I mean, you just could.
Especially if you're on field 3.
Yeah, exactly. But if you know all the, kind of inner workings, the charity work, and I mean, you would really have a great appreciation for it. I mean, you have to take part in that to be in the league. It is a requirement. It's not, you just come and play kickball. There are responsibilities and obligations to the public that you have to tend to be a part of that organization as well.
This is not an excuse for you to drink beer all Sunday long. While people do drink beer and have a good time, that's not why I do this. I don't do this for you to come out here and raise hell. I do this for you to come out and have a good time, but then, I better see your face charity time.
There's thousands of people involved here, and those thousands of people know thousands more people. And I think that we're all getting together for this common good. And, and I'm talking about kickball, but when you combine this massive force of people with any type of charitable organization, we have the ability to impact people's lives and touch their lives and really, really make a difference.
Kickball chaos is
every Sunday.
That's really nice.
It's the Tuesday before playoffs, and you learn if you made it to the playoffs, if you're laid back league, and what seed you are. And for the intermediate and competitive league, they basically know what seed they are because they keep tally of their scores and stuff. But then you pick your divisions and draw them out of a hat, and you learn who you're going to play.
Yeah.
And it's a lot
You
of
could
fun.
easily send all that information out over email.
Right.
No, of course not.
You know,
We're gonna have a party.
But I think what it is more than anything is just to get everybody juiced up for the playoffs.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! You guys suck! I got free shit to give away and nobody's making any noise!
Well, basically this is the LRKA selection show. What we do is we take the rankings from the season, regular season rankings, based off win-loss. We randomly draw for a bracket, much like the NCAA does.
Kickball Camp draws a number, I can't see it. A number 2. Kickball Camp draws a number 2. They'll be facing off against Team Helmet. That means your remaining seed, the Order, will be facing off against Ball Busters.
You randomly draw to see what side of the bracket you're going to be on and who you're going to face. It's a great, exciting time.
But they're not going to have cakes this time, though. That's true. They're not going to have cakes. They're going to figure it out, though. Well, it's easy, though. I mean, you get past that.
You know, all these teams are now going to get a chance to play the best of the best within our organization. So that's what people look forward to. I mean, the people that love the sport, whether it's playing athletically and competitive or playing laid back, you get an opportunity to play the best of the best in the league you play in.
The laid back is based off of votes by the other captains on the team.
They get together and they vote, and then they have this process, how they choose which one is which by, some type of numerical order. But
Adding up the votes, and whoever gets most is number 1.
complicated math. But I hate you. I hate both of you, actually. I hate you for saying it, I hate you for laughing. Assholes. And you're both off the team.
So as you play throughout the season, the laid-back teams, captains all get together at the end of the season and vote who has the most spirit. Spirit being who is the most fun to play, who embodies the charitable portion of kickball. And it's basically a good team. And then they vote. There's 12 teams that go in, and then they're judged on spirit after each game in the playoffs. Whoever has the most spirit by 3 judges will move on. Next round, so forth, until an ultimate champion of the layback league is crowned, which you get the Poos Cup, which is actually one of the biggest plaques and trophies that you can get in the LRKA.
With 97 votes, the always hot, the always spicy, Hot Tamales!
Yeah, when they started getting to like 8, 7, 6, we were wondering what place we were at.
Going in at number 1 with 140 votes. Who thinks it's Skeets? Who thinks it's Catsicles?
We came to like 2, a lot of build-up.
Now you got to remember, last year the number 2 vote getter went on to win the whole thing. Going in at number 1 with 140 votes, the Atomic Catsicles! Skeet Goers, 128 votes. You found yourself again in number 2.
We came in number 1, so it's a good thing.
That really, to me, is as big an honor as anything.
Yeah. That was a pretty cool deal.
Yeah,
right there.
I mean,
I think we actually teared up.
Yeah, well, you did.
You did. You're a crier.
I'm a big
crier.
I'm excited, man. We just got number 1 for the layback league. It's our first time here, and I mean, really, seriously, it brought some tears to my eyes, and I mean, that's for real. I've been drinking just a tad bit.
Of course, the Atomic Catsicles has been bringing it all season long with the videos and out there having a good time, making a name for themselves, making their presence known in the league. So they went in with the number 1 with 140 points. Second place, Skeet Throwers running with 128.
Us getting chosen as number 1 seed was kind of like affirmation that, we were a part of that league.
You betcha.
And, and we fit in, and that we had done things right and made friends, and
I don't know
They
about the
love
fitting in
us. They
part.
really
I
love
think
us.
we kind of stood up more than fit in at times.
I know, that's true too. But I mean, I guess it was just kind of like a key to the league in a way.
Yeah,
it was like, all right, you're a part of this family now, and that was, for me personally, a huge night. I mean, it was really important.
it is cool to see what people come up with, because when you start talking about theatrics, regular season's got nothing on what they end up doing for the playoffs. And it's just like, man, I got to one-up that.
It's our first playoff event in history. I'm excited.
We appreciate you guys. We had a good time.
I wish everybody was here to see it. It's just a beautiful thing.
There is an enormous diversity of people in Little Rock Kickball Association. I would think people from every walk of life, but the interesting thing is you don't meet a prejudice, you don't meet a disability, or you don't meet a sexual orientation, or you don't meet a person's socioeconomic status in life. You really don't know these things. You don't know what they do for a living necessarily. You don't know anything about them. Everybody seems to be equal on this kickball field. And everyone's out there for the same reasons, to have a good time. It really doesn't matter what they do between the hours of 8 and 5.
There are blue-collar, white-collar teams. I'm a professor. There are a lot of professors on teams. There's, lawyers and ditch diggers. I don't know what. There's everything, and people are all mixing together. So there's a lot of, I guess I would say, economic and social diversity. Probably some serious ethnic and religious diversity as well.
You have a lot of different races out here. Like you have Los Diablos. Los Diablos is a team of pretty much Hispanic. Then you have Super Boulevard, which is made up of pretty much, I don't want to say the ghetto, but they're my friends, so I would call them from the ghetto. But just a lot of people that just come and working people that get together and just have fun. And it's totally a lot of different cultures out here, and you learn a lot about a lot of different people and make a lot of different friends. People you probably would have never met in a million years because you walk different walks of life.
We've got everybody. We've got old retired people like me, and we've got young people that are just now starting out work.
And it's really, really very impressive how the Kickball League has been able to completely breach all sorts of class lines.
You're not going to probably get some pharmaceutical engineer, hanging out, drinking and eating with somebody that doesn't give two rats' asses about getting a job. But they do, and they enjoy each other's company.
And these people all get along with each other and have a wonderful time and interrelate with one another without any real hang-ups at all.
Yeah, I can't believe some of the people that I'm like, I guess I'd say socially kickball friends with, that sometimes the things we talk about, I'm like, oh good God, I didn't need to know that about you, Yeah. Let's just keep it on the field. But especially, I can't remember the name of the team, and I probably shouldn't anyway, but people I become friends with through the message board who, are completely opposite for me in so many ways. Politically,
yeah, it's very diverse politically,
and it just doesn't matter when you get out there. It really doesn't matter.
I mean, you have doctors, and you have lawyers, and you have firemen, policemen, architects. On our team alone, we have all of those things, and you figure each team has maybe 15 or 20 people on their roster, and there are 88 teams. So you have people from every walk of life and every career that you could probably come up with. And then you have almost every ethnic background that you could come up with.
If you want to see the demographic of what Little Rock really is, it's out there on the kickball field.
It's kind of it's a little bit of utopia in the middle of a kickball field of all things, and it just works.
Well, a lot of friends made. A lot of the teams that are here are all such a tight-knit group because they have been friends forever. The teams that I've put together and play on, I hardly know them. So, you know, the friends that I have in town and the friends that I've made over the last few years, the people I grew up with have all moved away and had kids and have families. I hardly see anybody out here I ever knew from high school or whenever. But the friends that I have made out here, I feel like anytime I ever run into them that they've got my back or got me a drink or whatever, we all sort of take care of each other. And it's not like, you know, you have to hang out with them for very long for somebody to be able to call them, hey, that's my friend or whatever.
Kickball league is like a social turbo boost. I mean, it is. I mean, you could move here and not know a soul.
Within a week, you've got
within a week,
50 friends.
You'll have, you know, that many text messages. What are you doing tonight?
That's the bad part, is it's really hard on your checkbook.
Yeah,
Because-
really hard on everything. Yeah.
You know, we've had people get married because of kickball. And we have serious relationships that develop. We have friendships that develop. You know, there are people whose wedding party is made up entirely of kickballers they didn't know a year before. You know, their best man is a kickballer who they met, you know, within the seasons. You know, so friendships, serious friendships develop out there at kickball.
It allows you to meet people and to have friends outside your comfort area, outside of people who share the same views, who live in the same part of town, who work in the same kind of job, who do all those sort of things. And that's awesome. That's fantastic. And that's given me so many friends that are people I would never have met and never would have known otherwise.
I was coming down the interstate and I easily get road rage, especially with people that just cruise in the passing lane. Drives me insane. Well, that was happening one day, and God, I was, you know, banging on the steering wheel and aggravated. Well, they ended up having to pass them on the right, and I saw this LRKA stick in the window, and I went, oh, okay, well, that's all right.
It is a rare event that I will go out anywhere and not see a kickball player, somebody that I know.
Or car.
Maybe not necessarily somebody that I know well, but it's like, I know you. I saw you playing last Sunday.
But, man, I'm going to kick the shit out of this thing. You ready?
He scared the shit out of it, that's for sure.
The championship game is only a week after, a week after the playoffs. So
you gotta be
there's,
on the
there's
ball.
two teams. I mean, in this particular case, it was us and the repeat offenders.
So you never know what to expect, and of course there's no Catsicles around.
Hey, just don't make it close, guys.
Just break off.
It's a good thing.
We're just waiting for the game to start right now, and I'm a nervous wreck.
Are we going left or right?
We're going to go around the left side.
The game time is ready to go. Where are they? And next thing you know, here they come marching in. Quite a grand entry. Fireworks, you know, pole dancers, things like that.
Catsicles came and they brought it. I mean, they had smoke streamers coming in, they had their band, they had their parade, and it was an awesome time.
I felt pretty darn confident, where we stood. I felt like we were going to win.
they really, to me, they presented themselves as the winner, but they didn't make it.
The winner and possessors of the Pooh Cup, repeat offender.
They got beat out by the repeat offenders.
I'm sorry, but that was awesome.
As disappointed as we were as happy for them because those are our friends. If you were to go back now and kind of replay those teams, I mean, we wouldn't make it past the playoffs.
No.
You know, so I think things worked out just like they were supposed to. I mean, it was still disappointing, you know, and I'd still like to have that Pooh's Cup. But
one of my favorite kickball memories was back in season 1. We were at Wakefield Park, a park we no longer use, and it was obvious that the season was successful at this point. And the way the park is set up, the baseball field is kind of in a dip, kind of a lower area. And I went to the restroom, and I come out of the restroom's shaded in the trees, and the field's out in the sun. And I'm walking up behind the crowd, and there's 200 people out there, and all their backs are to me. And it was a Sunday afternoon. It was just beautiful in the spring. And people had pulled their money together and went and bought a bunch of $5 pizzas. And someone had opened up a liquor store and got a keg. And it was like the miracle of loaves and fishes, kickball style. I mean, pizza was being passed, boxes, kegs, was being pumped. And it was just this amazing thing. And it was all silhouetted, they were all in, I was coming up for shadow and the sun was kind of blocking them, and it was just amazing. And I was like, wow, this thing was really taking off. This thing is really successful.
I think my favorite thing about kickball has got to be the unscripted and unpredictable fun that kind of comes out of it. I think it's unscripted, it's unpredictable, and it's improvisational.
I've had to miss, maybe one game. I think I missed, maybe 2. And it's just coming back after that, you're so thankful that everybody is still there and it's still going on, and you're just so happy to be there on Sunday with all of your friends. And it's not about the drinking, it's not about the kickball, it's just all about just being together. It's wonderful.
Kickball to me is pretty much got me my ass off the couch and back into the spirit of life and what it means to just live and have fun. And if it's on Sunday, if it's on Saturday or Tuesday night, whenever, I'm going to be there. People look at the league as a success and look at me as a success in running the league, and I think people want me to succeed. And I think that brings people back. I think people are just as amazed as I am when they step out there on the field and see, all those teams, all those people. When they see bumper stickers and t-shirts and hoodies all over town, when they run into people at restaurants and bars and realize they all play. I think feeling connected and a part of something that's good, wholly good. I really believe the league is good.
I think it helps define all of us as a person. So what does it mean to me? It means, I'm not gonna say that it means everything. I won't die without it, but it means a whole hell of a lot.
I'm 62 years old, been in this league. This is my 10th season, and I can't wait to get out here on Sunday to do it.
It's probably the most exciting thing about living in Little Rock for me is kickball.
Yeah.
Great memories, good times, great friends, and it didn't last on just a Sunday.
Save my picture for a rainy day. You said in case the sun should ever fade. I thought I would never see the day I never thought you would. That's all she wrote. Now she's gone and I can't take it back, but she can't take what she's done back either. Today it's raining and the sun is far away. Oh, I can't get there from here. I'm just waiting, wondering what's around the bend. When will the sun shine again? When will the sun shine again? When will the sun shine?
That's what I'm saying. All right, this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to go now on 3. 1, 2, 3.